Hey folks, this is the one and only Natasha. Okay, I would just wanted to go over this eclipse briefly. It's a lunar eclipse, prenumbral lunar eclipse today at I think 14 degrees of Scorpio. Okay. Now this is a chart of today's eclipse, right? And as you can see, the ascendant of this eclipse is at 9 degrees. Now, what is an eclipse? An eclipse is basically a full moon on steroids. So full moons are, of course, it's emphasized on the moon. The sun is opposite the moon. So there's an opposition. The sun is in the opposite sign. The opposite sign of Scorpio is Taurus. Taurus is all about values. Okay. And then Scorpio is about sharing resources, change, upheavals, drama, death and rebirth, right? So Scorpio, the emphasis is on the moon on Scorpio, but these energies are going back and forth. The sun is highlighting Taurus matters, whereas the moon is highlighting emotional matters when it comes to Scorpio things. Scorpio means, of course, death, rebirth, upheavals, drama, changes, abrupt endings. The ruler of Scorpio is Mars. I think the traditional ruler is is Pluto, whereas the modern ruler is Mars, right? So let's take a look at this chart for today's event. Now it's going to occur, it depends where you are in the map, right? So from Central Standard Time, it will occur at 12:34 p.m. For Eastern, it will be 1:34 p.m. But those are the universal. I think universal time is 1734. So just look at where you are in the map, and it basically just change the time from there. I'm giving you standard central and also central plus Eastern time. Okay, so this is on central timing, right? So this is the chart of the eclipse. Now, again, the sun is in Taurus, whereas the moon is in Scorpio. Anytime there's an eclipse, it's a full moon in steroids, meaning the emphasis is always on fulfillment, endings, and completions. That's what full moons are, or eclipses are. And also, it's an emotional time. It's a releasing time, releasing, purging, culminating, ending certain things. Okay, there's an end and there's going to be a beginning. But these are usually, I also see them as an emotional time as well, as per my experience, because the moon is, of course, the emotions, right? It also represents the home. Now, if we look at this chart, again, this is a lunar eclipse. It's not a solar eclipse. The solar is based off of the sun. The lunar is based off of the moon. The solar is the sun conjunct the moon, whereas the lunar, it's an opposition. The sun is in one sign and the moon is in the opposite sign. So there's like basically a decision that needs to be made. It's like two polar opposite, things that are happening. So this could be between you or it could be a decision that you have to make. It could be an argument that leads to a decision. It can be anything, okay? Again, Scorpio's energy is all about endings, upheavals, drama, emotional drama, psychological events, death, rebirth. It means a lot of stuff. Taxes, what else it means? Abortions, taxes, corruption. It just means a lot of stuff. Anything that's hidden. It also means occult as well. And Taurus, of course, is the opposite sign, which the sun is there, plus the north node is there. And guess what? The sun is right next to Uranus. So there could be some unexpected events or unexpected outbursts from a person, because Uranus is unexpected events. You can't really pinpoint what it is, but it's unexpected. And it's next to the sun. The sun is at 14 degrees, whereas Uranus is at 18 degrees. And Mercury right now, Mercury rules the mind, communication. It's retrograde at 8 degrees. 8 degrees is the Scorpio degrees. But retrograde, anytime a planet goes backwards, retrograde, it means it's all about reevaluating, reviewing things from the past. You could meet somebody or even meet someone from the past that you know. It's about reviewing, reevaluating we reevaluating, renewing, reviewing, revisiting, everything about rewinding, basically things in the past that you're redoing over again. So Mercury is the mind. It's also the communication, writing, and stuff like that. So anytime Mercury goes retrograde, of course, just things just happen. And also it's in the sign of Taurus. I'm going to give you an example. My friend called me asking me for money. Never called to ask me for money before, but all of a sudden he asked me for money because of his car repairs. I was reluctant to give him money because I don't give friends money. I think, unless you're dying, I'm not going to give you money because, Scorpio moon, trust issues. And besides, I don't think a man should be asking a woman for money unless, they're in a relationship with that woman or they're in a dying. I don't know. That's just my thing. But anyways, it was just weird to me. It was weird. But anyways, so, but back in my mind, because Scorpios is also psychic, they always know if a person's going to pay or not. And I was like, you know what? I know he's not going to pay me back. If I give him this money, why would I give him money knowing that he's not going to pay me back? I know it. And if he says he's going to pay on a certain date, he's not. Cancers usually have a thing with lying. So it's not even about his sign. It's just about his character traits and whatever. But okay, that's enough about me. But anyways, so as you can see, this eclipse, if you look at all the reds are basically no good. There's like conflict, friction, and conflict. The opposition between you and somebody else. A decision needs to be made. It could be a psychological thing going on. It could be emotional. It could be just anything. Or even you're moving, changing something. Because remember, Scorpio means death and rebirth. It could be changing something. It could be ending something. It could be anything. So this eclipse is at 9 degrees. The ascendant of this eclipse is at 9 degrees of Leo, right? So Leos and Aquarius will be impacted by this eclipse. I know I will because I'm a Leo ascendant. But I'm going through some psychological catharsis. A lot of Scorpios are going through a lot of catharsis, releasing, letting go, and just coming to terms with limiting beliefs and habits that they need to purge and they need to release and let go of. Because the South Node is in their first house of Scorpios. A lot of them having these identity transformations because Scorpio is a transformative sign. It transforms you. A lot of their identities are being transformed. Who they are. A lot of Scorpios. It depends. I have my moon in Scorpio, but we have Scorpio sun, moon, ascendants. A lot of them going through stuff right now that you may not understand. A lot of transformations going on, even mental transformation, physical, just transformation overall. They're being confronted with their shadow self. They're being confronted with things that the awareness is heightened. Anytime there's a full moon, the awareness is heightened. And they become aware of certain things that they weren't aware of. So, again, Taurus and Scorpios are being affected. Leos and Aquarius are being affected at this full moon. These are all fixed signs, of course. But everybody will be affected, depending if you have any points, sensitive points or planets in your chart within that degree. I would say 6 to 18 degrees of those signs. But even if you don't have, it could be a planet or just a sensitive point in your chart, it will be affected. So again, Scorpio, for me, the way I'm dealing with this energy is all about removing limiting beliefs, purging, catharsis, is letting go and releasing things, especially trauma, because Scorpio is a traumatic sign. It's trauma. You need to confront your traumas, your childhood wounds, that Chiron wound. Everybody has Chiron in their chart. Chiron is all about your insecurities, your guilt, what you're shame about. It's the deepest wound you have within you that you dealt with since childhood, that even flows over to adulthood, teenage and adult years. So those are the things that we're facing. And Chiron right now is in a Mars sign. It's in Aries. So let's look at this eclipse. Let's see what's happening. And also Chiron, if you can notice, Chiron is forming something with the moon here. Yeah, it's forming a quincunx to the moon. So Chiron is being affected. The moon is the emotions, okay? It's security, it's your emotions. And it's how you feel inside. It's your feelings. So when there's a quincunx between Chiron and your moon, that is it's uncomfortable. Like, it's very uncomfortable feelings. Your feelings, your emotions, everything seems to be uncomfortable. But people are triggering these emotions and feelings within you. So of course it's creating this more, it's Chiron is all about transmuting, and that's how you get rid of it, is confront your fears, confront your wounds. Don't resist it, don't run away, don't fight it. Don't fight it, don't resist it, don't run away. Just confront anything that you fear. Just confront it in the face and just let it happen. Sometimes you just need to let it happen instead of fighting, resisting, and running away. Just let it happen. Like, for instance, I'm going to give you an example. Some people have fears of abandonment. Fear of abandonment. That's why they have to hold people so close and they become codependent on others. And that fear of abandonment, once they feel the person is leaving or whatever, they want to hold tighter, and it makes that person feel uncomfortable when that person ends up leaving. Another thing of fear of abandonment is, or a rejection, fear of a rejection. Right now, Chiron is an Aries. A lot of people are feeling rejected right now. That's why you see a lot of people are just shooting, because Chiron is wounds and Aries is self. And self-rejection is a theme for Chiron and Aries. And some people can't take it. They don't want to feel this feeling, and they just want to act out or do something through anger, through shooting, through violence, through any means, through communicating in a bad way. They just want to act out their feelings. And right now, again, these energies is effective a week before, a week of the eclipse, and also the week after. They're effective. So a lot of stuff been going on because people are not willing to face or confront their fears. And I had to confront and face my fears of letting certain things go that's no longer serving me. Things that, if something is unequal, or I feel that I'm being mistreated, or people are taking me for granted, sometimes I have to let it go. Because once you let something go that's not good for you, if it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't come back, it was never meant for it to be yours in the first place. So you have to allow yourself to lose. You have to allow yourself, just confront those fears you have. You have to allow yourself to feel that feeling. Some people don't want to feel that feeling, and that's why they resort to drugs, violence, and anger and all that other stuff. But you have to allow yourself to feel. That's part of the healing process. It's catharsis, and it helps to heal the wound and pull out that thorn out of you. And I used to be afraid of rejection and just being taken for granted and not being respected, and all that other sort of stuff. And I was like, why do I need your validation, your approval? Why do I need you to love me? You just have to change the concept of yourself and be the person that you want to be. Okay? If you want love, be love. If you want respect, show respect to yourself and be respectful. If you want to, change the concept and also your mental image of what you think you are into what you want to be. Okay? And that's the belief system. We have these limiting belief systems that stop us from being the person who we're meant to be in this lifetime. We go around with anger, resentment, and frustration, and knowing that it's not good for us, but we just go around with this and carry it and basically pour it over onto others and project it onto others. It's not about judging others. It's about transforming yourself to be a better person for you. It's not about to be a better person for others. It's to be a better person for you. How can I be better for me? What is it that I need to let go of or get rid of within myself that I see that's stopping me from growing? That's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow. But we all need to examine our heart and ourselves instead of always pointing at others. They did this, they did that. What about us? What are we doing to ourselves to keep attracting that type of behavior, that type of energy, selfish or whatever it is, So let's go back to this eclipse. I'm over talking here. Okay, so we have here, so the sun is opposing the moon. We have the sun conjunct Uranus, so there could be unexpected epiphanies too, like you get insights. But in order to get insights, you need to be quiet. Just no thoughts at all. Then the insights will come. And that's how you connect with your soul. That's how you connect with your inner guidance. Just don't think at all. It's called meditation. But if you go, and I've done this a lot of times where I just receive insights and thoughts and just impressions because I'm not thinking. I'm just letting the information flow. If you be quiet, trust me, things will just come in, you know. And so the sun conjunct Uranus, unexpected things may occur, right? And you remember it's opposing the moon. The Mercury is about 6 degrees away. I mean, it's still influencing it. Mercury is the mind and communication. So people may want to talk about the past right now and their value system. A lot of people's value system are changing now. The people, just remember everything, money, time, everything is an investment. You need to see it that way. Every single thing is an investment. If you're not getting a return on your investment, you need to let it go. It could be a job. It could be a relationship, a friendship. If you're doing all the work and that person is doing nothing to maintain, they're not calling you, they expect you to call them, they're not watering your tree, they're not nourishing you, and you're doing all the work, you need to get out of that situation because it's not for you. Things need to be balanced. Everything is about balance, even chemistry. If anybody took chemistry, I know I did in college, you know everything in this universe is all about balance. Electrons and protons, everything has to be balanced in order for it to work. Same thing goes for relationships. You go to work, if they're not paying you enough, go find another job. Okay? You have to get paid your worth. You remember, the sun in Taurus is all about worth. Mercury is talking about your worth. Now, people thinking about everything in the past. Did this person or this job treat me as if I'm worth it? Or am I giving way more than I'm receiving? And why do I keep giving to a person if they're not doing nothing for me? Why? Why am I buying them? Why am I seeking validation and love from another person when I should give it to myself? And that's what we all need to, why we need to examine our hearts to see what role we play in the situation. Because it's not always that other person. That person is just doing them. They're just being who they want to be. Selfish, greedy, you know, they're just being who they want to be. But do you have to partake in it? Do you have to, you know, be in that situation? No. Remember, you made that choice. So you have to decide who and what you want to be. Change the concept of yourself. Be that person you want to be. So if you want to be loved, don't go seek it from anybody else because love is already within you. Just connect to the love of yourself. You know, if you want to be respected, respect yourself. Don't be around people that don't respect you. That's always causing you pain because they don't respect you. They're going to continue doing the same thing over and over again because they realize you keep accepting their behavior. You know, and it just shows they don't care about you. They don't love you because they keep doing the same thing over and over again. And they know you're going to keep coming back. And it's just going to be a repetitive cycle that you are creating by not having boundaries and not stepping away because, of course, you're codependent and you're seeking validation and love from somebody else when you should give it to yourself. So, again, this is a lot of this eclipse is about letting things go, ending things that's just not working for you. That's just not giving you the love that you deserve. That's just not giving you what you deserve in life, you know? And you need to focus on your intentions. What are your intentions? Is it in line with your intentions in life? Okay? So that's the sun and Uranus opposing the moon, right? And Mercury, of course, is making you rethink about your value system. Do you value this person? Does this person value you? Does this job, relationship, family? Is it value? Is it worth it? Are they giving you the same input, the output and the input? Is it the same? Is it balanced? Or there's one person that's giving more, doing way more than the other person? You know? So it's all about value system and worth. Are you worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth doing what you're doing? Is it worth it? Because everything in life is an investment. You invest in God, you invest in yourself, you invest in everything. Look at it as an investment. And are you getting a return on your investment? Is a question you need to ask yourself. Okay, so that's Taurus matters, Taurus and Scorpio, right? And Scorpio is all about sharing. Taurus is about my possession, my money, my worth, my this. Scorpio is about sharing. Those energies are going back and forth. That's why a lot of Taurus and Scorpios are just going through it right now, because their value system and worth is being shifted. Their mental, what's going on is just shifting, because they're going through a catharsis where a lot of people coming into their life is making them confront their fears, confront their trauma and stuff like that. And some of them run, resist, fight, and it just becomes a ripple effect. It just becomes, bad for them. Some of them go to jail. Some of them, especially if they fight. So it's either, are you going to transform yourself, or are you going to keep fighting, resisting, and running away from the things that you fear? A fearful person is a weak person. A strong person face their fear, confront it. That's what a strong person is. Not with fighting, not with resisting, not running away. Just confront it, accept it, and embrace their fears instead of running away, resisting, or fighting it. That's a strong person to me. A weak person will sit there and fight, resist, and run away from their fears. So, I know. Okay, so we have Jupiter and the North Node is at 4 degrees. The North Node is going to be going to freaking Aries very soon. And then that's going to be a totally different energy. I think it's in July. And then the South Node is going to go into Libra, my sign, of course. Oh my gosh. Where Libras, a lot of people are going to be letting go of relationships, especially starting in July. A lot of people are going to be fed up and letting go of relationships that no longer serve them, because they're going to start seeing the light. Wherever the South Node goes, is something letting go. So relationships, definitely you're going to see a lot of breakups from July on. A lot of relationships are going to be ending because they're no longer going to accept mediocre. They're no longer going to accept half, love, or half whatever. They're going to see the light. They're going to be more aware of what they want, and they're not going to settle for less. So, and people from past lives are going to get together. So, again, a lot of relationships are going to be ending. And that's what I think, based off of the nodal axis, is where they're going to be. Chiron is still in Aries. So a lot of Libras and, cardinal sign, Libras, Aries, Libras, Cancers, and Capricorn are going through it right now. They're going through a lot of wounds. Their deepest wounds are coming up for review. They're facing their shit right now. And, I know my wounds have come up, and it's always triggered by somebody else. It's always triggered by someone else. Someone is trying to make you heal your wounds. But you may fight, you may resist, you may run away. I know I've been triggered, but I don't fight, I don't resist, I don't run away. I kind of want to understand it so I can heal it. That's what strength comes in, But I've come across where people just want to fight, because they're like, I have a manual of, wait a minute, I know this person. I know exactly what wound I shouldn't touch, what conversations I shouldn't have. I have a manual of this person. They assume that I have a manual of them when I have no manual. So I could say something, it may trigger you. I have no idea. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's not deliberate. So some people may be triggered by wounds, and you have no idea that you triggered a wound, and they go off on you, and you're like, what did I do? What the? So you have Neptune. Neptune right now is trining Mars. So your action may be creating illusions. So you be careful with acting. Don't act on impulse, because right now Mars is in Cancer. Cancer is all about emotions. People are acting on impulse and not paying attention, because Neptune is a deceptive planet, so their actions may be, like, I don't know, based on a lie, on an illusion, pretty much. And then you have Chiron is squaring Mars. Remember, Chiron is our deepest wounds and insecurity. Mars is your action and how you assert yourself. And also male energy. So a lot of males and, people may fight, because Mars is also fighting. People may fight because their wounds are being triggered, and they don't like that. Instead of confronting it, they may fight, resist, argue, and stuff like that. That's not the right way, but they don't know They don't have the tools. They don't know the right way. The right way is going within, trying to understand why do you feel this way. Go within and connect with yourself and understand what your wounds are telling you. Okay, integrate. It's all about integration, right? And then you have Jupiter. Jupiter is our belief system. It's also squaring Mars. Belief system will make you fight. A lot of people are basically fighting their belief systems right now. I'm right, you're wrong. This is what I believe, this and that, whatever. Just everybody has different belief systems. There's no right or wrong. Okay? So that's one of the things that's going on right now. Venus, the planet of love, relationships, and women, is squaring Neptune also. There's a lot of confusion when it comes to love. People are just confused. Does this person really love me? They don't even call me. They don't even check. They don't even check on me. How could how do I know this person loves me? He's not checking on me. He's not seeing if I'm okay. He always expects me to call, expects me to do everything like I'm a damn man. How do I know this is love or it's an illusion? Neptune is an illusion. Venus is relationships, love, and women. How do I know if this is love if I'm not feeling it from that person? That person is not showing love to me. So a lot of women and relationships are being confused right now. There's going to be fighting because of the confusion. Some people just don't know where they stand because of the person's action. They're not acting like they love you, or they're not acting like they care about you. Did you check for me? I love that song. You need to go listen to that song. Her name is Bianca or something. La Bianca, something like that. It's a great song. I listen to it just because it's a very relaxing, chilling song. It's called La Bianca. I've been drinking alcohol. No. Did you check for me? This and that. I don't remember the words, but it's something about along the lines how she's depressed and, she has friends, family and whatever, but nobody checked for her. Nobody cares. And you have people like that where, we need the social support, moral support. And she have all these friends and family and nobody checked to see if she's okay. But she's been drinking alcohol in a depressive mode. And nobody's checking to see if she's okay or whatever. So she's like feeling more lonely and whatever. And you never know what people going through. Sometimes you need to pick up the phone and just check on your friend, your family, your lover, whatever, and see what's going on instead of assuming. So that's a great song. You guys should go check it out. It's La Bianca. I forgot the name of the song, but I'll post it on the comment. But yeah, and let's see here. Pluto is also opposing Mars. A lot of explosive anger is happening right now. Explosive anger, and it's internalized because Pluto is retrograde. So Saturn is also trining Venus. Saturn is karma. Saturn is your Achilles heel. It's your fear. A lot of women relationships are in fear right now. Trines are easy energy. It's a lot of fear going on right now, Well, is this person leaving me? What's going to happen? This and that. Sometimes we need to surrender our fears to God, just surrender. And allow the energies to pass. Don't react to it. Just be the observer. Be the observer. Watch it. Do not react to energy. Do not react to people. And it's hard for people not to react because we're so conditioned to react to every single thing that's happening on the external. Why don't we focus on what's going on internally within us to heal it? That's the hardest thing to do because nobody taught us how to do that. But we need to make a conscious effort to try to connect with our inner being, and be quiet. Just listen to what do you want? What is your intention? What do you truly want? Connect with yourself. Everybody's always talking and always distraction and noises. Have you ever sat down and connect with your inner being? Connect with the inner God within you to see exactly why are you here and what you need healing. Okay? I would advise everybody to look at their Chiron, their aspects, because it will tell you a lot. Chiron and Saturn. It will tell you a lot about what you need to heal. If you have Venus and Chiron together, that's relationship, love. You have you have Mars and Chiron. That's your, rejection, anger, You know, Saturn, that's your self-esteem, your insecurities, you know. So just pay attention to your Chiron. And let's see here. Venus is also quincunx Pluto. Venus and Pluto aspects are very hard aspects because Pluto is pain to me. Pluto is transformation and pain. Venus is relationships and love. Remember, quincunx is a decision. It's uncomfortable. You need to make a decision when it comes to your love life, your relationships. Either you transform it or you just end it. You know, don't worry. Anything you lose, something else is going to be replaced by it. As a Scorpio, you should not be afraid to lose anything. Everything will be replaced with something new. When one door closes, there's another window that's opening. But you have to know that. So you need to allow things to leave your life, especially if it's not meant to be. If it's meant to be, it will come back. If it's not, it's going to go. It was just there for a temporary moment. It was not there to stay. You need to understand that. You need to surrender sometimes. Just let it go and surrender. Don't fight with people. Don't argue with people. Don't get upset and angry because it destroys inside of you. It destroys your inner being because you can't see clearly. It's like walking in darkness. It's your shadowed self. It's not the real you. So that's my advice today, guys. Take it easy today. And it's pretty much all I have to say. Take care.